Hey Libras, how's it going? It's Sky. I'm here for probably like the 20th time as Mercury retrograde as I'm recording these readings. It has been quite the experience to get these out. I've had a lot of technical difficulties, but hello Libras, how are you? Hope you're wonderful. I love you guys. You're beautiful. You're amazing. You are incredible right now. In fact, you have something, Libra, I think that we all need, and I feel that you're becoming very magnetic. A lot of people are probably realizing this, and you could be drawing a lot of people in very suddenly now as we move into January 2018. I can't believe it's 2018, but you can, Libra. You have a sense of time right now that a lot of other people don't have, and it's something that you definitely have to take advantage of, and you definitely have to use to its fullest potential. Because I feel like everyone, to an extent, is looking to you because Jupiter is in Scorpio now. It was in Libra. So you've had the Jupiter and Libra thing. Like, you've had the Jupiter conjunction. You've come out of it. Jupiter's condition right now, the cycle that it's making over this 12-year period, is really, really profound. So everyone's sort of looking to you as like the person who's had it and the person who's done it. And it's a lot of pressure, but at the same time, it's like creating something absolutely incredible for you, Libra. Amazing major arcana energy coming in, the Star, the Tower, the High Priestess. I'm not a very traditional tarot reader. The Tower is one of my favorite major arcana cards because it establishes change, and if harnessed in a strong, intuitive, responsible way, you can really break through any obstacles and go as high as you like. But at the same time, you have to be willing to let go of what is no longer working. So what's no longer working, Libra? Who's no longer working? What ways of reacting, what ways of feeling, what ways of progressing through life are no longer benefiting you? Through identifying that within yourself, you come into January with like, whoa, so much power. Also, I'm feeling like a very strong connection to Scorpio as well for Libra. So for those of you who have like strong placements in Scorpio, I feel that the messages will be more resonant, and you should definitely watch Scorpio's reading. I would say like all Libras should watch Scorpio's reading just because I'm feeling a strong connection, because that's where Jupiter has gone now. It's now in Scorpio. So your energy can feel a little bit manifested within Scorpio energy right now. Anyway, there are a lot of culminations to be had by Libra in January, I feel. For a lot of people, it might feel like starting over because it's the new year, but it's not. That's more in March. That's when Aries time comes around. So think about what needs to be finished and what needs to be like almost never looked back on, too. Like, what needs to be in the rearview mirror, what doesn't need to be walked away from, but at the same time needs to be like born into a process of being able to walk away from during this time, like finding that middle ground there and coming into a place of acceptance as well of what needs to be let go of. Is I feel it's gonna be one of the hardest things for Libra, because it's like you can know like in your heart very easily. Again, you're the scales, you weigh things out, you balance it, you can see if something's not good or if something's good. But the actual process of making an energetic change, or of tampering with the momentum, I want to say, can be more daunting for you. But I do feel that it's a time where you almost have to like bear witness, or you have to like have witnesses or something, or you have to be a witness for someone, as I feel like you are seeing many people's blessings and curses, or people are clinging to you to help them through their problems. It feels like everyone wants you to see what they're going through, or everyone wants you to witness them. So that's an interesting thing to be coming up, which feels like it's sort of coming into this connection with something that I actually wrote down for you as I was tapping into your energy, which is like decisive destruction, which is what I feel with the Tower energy coming in the way that it is in the High Priestess, because you have this sort of contemplative energy coming in with the High Priestess, and at the same time this destructive energy with the Tower. So really sitting in January and thinking, okay, what do I need to sort of like step into the archetype of the destructioner as? What do I need to purge, cleanse, remove from my life, and not doing it in a spontaneous or impulsive way. This is the challenge now with Saturn being in Capricorn, which I did a video on as well, which I would love if you guys would check out. You can check like the top right hand corner. It should be popping up right now of the video. Anyway, I hope you all get to check that out after this reading. Saturn in Capricorn now, it's not about the spontaneous destruction. Saturn in Sagittarius is much more about like spontaneous, impulsive purging, or spontaneous, impulsive letting go or destruction in life. And now you have to think more clearly and more responsibly and in a structured way, like what needs to go. Because I feel like even the first half of 2018 can still sort of be a period of like what has to go, so that you can then start to build what needs to come, and start to navigate that as well. Try to not be too strongly navigating anything right now. If you can step back and sort of breathe, that feels really good. Learn how to breathe. Everyone needs to learn how to breathe in January. In a new intuitive way, like that's your own. Like, learn how your body works, learn how your limbs move, like learn what is harmonious action for you, and try to not model yourself based on other people's body language. I do sense like messages or delivery, like very mercurial type of energy coming in. We did just come from a explosive Mercury retrograde in December, and I don't know if it was as chaotic for you Libras as it was for me, but there is a release and a rejuvenation that kind of has to happen after such chaos, at least in my case, and I would say that it is for you from what I'm seeing. But how can you sort of rejuvenate and recharge your batteries? By working and by trying new things, because new businesses, new projects really seem really strong for Libra right now, and it doesn't feel like you need to like lay in bed. It doesn't feel like you need to lay in bed for very long. Like, it feels like the time that you are in bed is really wonderful, but try to not be out, because Saturn in Capricorn doesn't respond well to any kind of non-entity, like sort of not sleeping. Like, everyone needs to sleep, everyone needs that charging time, but any sort of just malaise or not being awake, not being asleep, Saturn in Capricorn generates a lot of like obstacles with that type of energy. So make sure that you're doing something that you enjoy, and that like a work that is enjoyable is really great right here. But anyway, that's sort of what I'm feeling intuitively, and I'll go ahead and get into the week-to-week reading for you guys. In the first week, you guys have 9 of Cups, you're down by 3 of Swords, so definitely strong gatekeeper archetype here. New pathways open up, new possibilities, new roads of life. Like, I sense like new locations or new jobs, just something very new, but at the same time there's something that you have to kind of unlock to get there. I often interpret the 9 of Cups as a like a what's the password or locked door type of energy sometimes, especially when you have like a darker, more somber 3 of Swords rooting that down. It's like perhaps like a past heartbreak or a difficult ending in a relationship is kind of keeping you in a purgatory feeling, or kind of keeping you in a location which is no longer working. So definitely moving right into January, think like, what can I let go of really fast here? But at the same time, what's like, how can this be a built, structured type of thing? Like, has this been something I've been trying to let go for a long time? Again, like, as I said earlier, it's not such a good time to be like impulsive and think, okay, I'm just going to up and move across the country with no plan. And that's why I feel 9 of Cups has come up here too, because it's like you get to the gate, you sort of see what the possibility could be. Like, okay, I could move across the country, I could do something really spontaneous, but at the same time, there's like a key to be found before it happens, and a structure to be developed as well. Which takes you into the second week, Libras, with the Tower rooted down by 4 of Wands. Really, really a polarized energy there. And I love it when the Tower comes up with really positive archetypes like 4 of Wands. Again, that's why I'm sort of interpreting it as a type of wonderful energy for you, Libra. It's like through breaking through obstacles, through sort of allowing yourself to actually control it. I want to say control is one of the difficult words to sort of use, but I feel that controlling what is breaking in your life and sort of thinking, okay, yes, some things are no longer stable, or acknowledging even that some of these aspects of my life have to be let go of and have to be broken down, rather than allowing the universe to like surprise me and break down something potentially very healthy. Let me sort of do this myself. Let me sort of think, okay, what has to go? Like, donating to not necessarily donating to charity, but I want to say like getting rid of your old clothes or old things which are weighing you down, like objects, and like donating them to the Salvation Army or something like that is really good. Anything that's like clutter and getting rid of it will help this kind of energy. Even like starting a fire or burning old things, but not like valuable things really, because it's not so good. Like, that would have been better in Saturn and Sagittarius. But like, if you have like a bunch of like boxes, like things which are, or a bunch of like things which are not useful at all, like you could burn them. Just trying to tap into that Tower energy in a creative way to make it channel through things like this. 4 of Wands says that through doing that, you're really going to tap into a celebratory part of your life, and definitely celebrate the endings, definitely celebrate things which aren't working. Like, if some of you Libras have a breakup, it's like you have to immediately celebrate it. You have to immediately see the silver lining. It's like there may have been a small opportunity at the end of 2017 to bereave or to mourn, and it's always something that's needed depending on like what kind of trauma happens, because it is a potential trauma month, you know, for Libra, with such like the Tower, Three of Swords, Three of Cups reversed, and lots of 3 energy, 10 of Wands. But it's all encapsulated by the Star. So again, it's like whatever trauma or grief you might be going through, it's like not that the trauma or grief was needed, but the endings which triggered it were needed to help you to shine more brightly. So definitely be able to celebrate the freedom, I feel, that you are granted through experiencing loss in this way. And realizing as well and allowing yourself to acknowledge that this is very painful, perhaps, that I've lost people or I've lost love in this type of way, but at the same time, what kind of doors could this open? And at least allowing yourself to think in that way, because third week you guys have the High Priestess rooted down by Three of Cups reversed. A lot of you aren't feeling so connected to old platonic relationships. Maybe you feel that people who once really held you dear are no longer that close anymore, or that there's some kind of wall or some kind of boundary there. At the same time, you could also just feel a little bit isolated and alone, and like it might be a little bit difficult to make these new connections or these new friends. So definitely use this to your advantage, because I definitely realized, like, through my own personal experiences, that times of like solitude or isolation, despite being like very icy type of experiences, are really important, and you have to like learn how to breathe through them. You have to learn how to like become more wholesome and integrate yourself with all the elements in a stronger way. Also really strong psychic expansion that I'm feeling for Libra, which I meant to mention in the beginning. With the High Priestess and Three of Swords, you could really, and the Star, you could really be tapping into other people's emotional energy. You could be feeling people from your past, like talking in your head, like telepathic connections, or being in a large group of people and feeling like a sponge to their energy. Even like mediumistic type of experiences, I think, can really start for Libra, which is interesting. Again, you guys are an air sign, and traditionally air is not the most psychic element, and obviously depending on your chart, that can not be the case. Like if your Libra placements, for example, are in like the 8th house or something, but it's interesting to see Libra gaining as itself this type of psychic expansion. And in the 4th week, you guys have 10 of Wands reversed, you're down by King of Swords reversed. So again, like taking on potentially more than you can handle. Be careful of having like too full of a plate. Be careful of thinking that you can take on a lot spontaneously. Again, the entire Wand suit has to deals with spontaneity, passion, and feeling like you can really take on a lot. And again, with Saturn and Capricorn coming in, it automatically sort of casts a shadow onto fire energy, and sort of can double the inconveniences that fire can put onto things. Like it burns very quickly, so there can be like maybe you decide to take on like an extra job, or you decide to start the new business, which is wonderful, but at the same time, it's like the fire that you have to start it burns out quite quickly, and then you're left with something that's a lot bigger than you expected. It does feel like anything can take off, though, so anything that you want to start, Libra, can do very well. Just make sure that you structure a system in the beginning that can be big, which is something that I've definitely learned, is like especially through this YouTube channel, sometimes you can structure systems which weren't meant to be very big in the first place, and then you have a lot to face and a lot of loose ends to tie up. So prepare yourself for greatness, and don't have a mindset like, oh, well, it's not going to do that good anyway, so I can just kind of do it in any kind of way. Prepare yourself to be very successful. That way, when you are, you don't wake up with a system which is not calibrated in a way for very strong success. So yeah, the calibration of success, beautiful with King of Swords. Definitely tap into that masculine air energy to help solve this. Turn that upright, get into your logical mind, think, how would a system be successful? How would a business like this be successful? How would somebody doing what I do be successful and be like infinite in it, and not really have limits by numbers or limits by success? Be careful of anything that deals with limiting your success or limiting your power as a person, because, oh my God, Libra, the star is your central theme. Whoa, you're becoming so much stronger, so much more wholesome, more healthy, more able, incredible. And again, like very desired by other people, very attractive, very magnetic. The Star and the High Priestess together in the same reading, like you could be so courted, you could have so many admirers, so many new opportunities for love, major soulmate energy, 9 of Cups too. At the same time, Libras, it's not the most wonderful time collectively to be in strong relationships. I just have to say, you can, and depending on certain people, it's sort of, this is more personal and has a lot of potential diverse options here for different people. But structure something real. Saturn in Capricorn is new, especially for you Libras who are like right on the cusp there, like right around like September 21st and like the beginning of October. You kind of have to structure something real that's touchable and tangible. during this time. Otherwise, you can start a lot of cycles based off of not real things, like relationships can become real, but for the most part they deal with feelings, which aren't really tangible things and are subject to a lot of change. So definitely think about what can become real for you right now, and then take advantage of this amazing magnetic energy once you've structured something. And always think about your health, think about your hydration, think about alkalizing the body and tapping into your vulnerability as well with the star, and seeing how you can, through making yourself stronger, actually become a more powerfully vulnerable person, but at the same time a type of vulnerability that isn't so manipulatable, I don't know if that's a word, by other people, building a vulnerability that can't really be manipulated by others, to put it in a different way. Anyway, Libra, if you guys would like to have more information about this buildup that is happening within you, and to get some actual personal details about yourself, you can always book a private reading with me. That link should be in the center of your screen. You guys can also subscribe and like this video. It would mean a lot to me. And check the description box for other appropriate links. Anyway, I will be talking to you guys in February, and I've really enjoyed giving this reading. I've learned a lot. Much love. Bye.